Welcome to the Explainer. What if you could capture the entire soul of a nation in just 5 principles? Sounds pretty ambitious, right? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today with Pancasila. This is the philosophy at the absolute heart of Indonesia, and believe me, it's way more than just a set of rules.
And to help us on this journey, we're looking at this amazing little booklet from 1950. It was penned by a guy named Ki Hajar Dewantara, an absolute giant in Indonesian history, a national hero. And what he does in these pages is unpack a philosophy that's, well, it's so much more than just a simple list of laws.
So, that really is the big question, isn't it? What is Pancasila, really? You might have heard it described as just the 5 principles of the Indonesian state. But Dewantara's whole point is that to really get it, you've got to look way past that surface-level definition. We need to dig deeper and find the philosophy that actually breathes life into the whole thing.
Okay, so to get to that deeper meaning, let's start with the basics. We have to know what these 5 core pillars actually are. What are the foundational ideas we're even talking about?
All right, here they are. First up, we've got Ketuhanan, which is the belief in one supreme God. So it starts on a spiritual level. Then it broadens out to kemanusiaan, a just and civilized humanity. You can see how it's getting bigger. From there, it gets specific to the nation with kebangsaan, which is all about the unity of Indonesia, or nationalism. And finally, we get to the structure of society itself with kerakyatan, or democracy, and its ultimate goal, which is keadilan sosial, social justice for every single person. It's quite a progression, right?
Okay, but here is where things get really interesting. Because Dewantara's whole argument, his big idea, is that Pancasila is not, and I mean not, just a list of rules you have to follow. No, it's something way more fundamental to what it means to be Indonesian.
He uses this incredible Indonesian word, jiwa. Now, jiwa gets translated as soul, but it's so much more than that. Think of it as a spirit, a life force, the very thing that animates you. So for Dewantara, Pancasila isn't just some text written in the Constitution, it's the jiwa that gives the Constitution life.
In this comparison right here, it just nails the difference he was trying to get across. On one hand, you have a legal document. That can feel, well, rigid, external, something forced on you from the outside. But a jiwa? That's the total opposite. It's something that's already inside you, an internal spirit that's alive, dynamic, and grows right out of the culture and the people themselves. See the difference?
So the key thing to remember here is this. Pancasila wasn't just invented out of thin air. The idea is that it was discovered. It's an expression of an authentic Indonesian character that was already there. It's a philosophy that taps into a guiding spirit shaped by centuries of history and culture. It comes from within.
Okay, so that's the big philosophical idea. But how does that actually work in the real world? How does this jiwa become a blueprint for a whole society? Well, if these principles are truly alive, they can't just be 5 separate things. They have to connect, right? They have to interact with each other.
And what's amazing is that Dewantara saw a potential problem that is, well, it's incredibly relevant today. We've all seen how nationalism, when it's unchecked, can get really aggressive and exclusionary. He totally saw that danger. And he built the solution right into the system, arguing that the principles have to balance each other out.
And his solution is it's so elegant. He basically says that Indonesian nationalism, that idea of kebangsaan, can never ever be separated from kemanusiaan, from humanity. It has to be a type of nationalism that's grounded in a deep respect for all people. In other words, your national identity doesn't erase your shared humanity. It's just one specific way of expressing it. Brilliant.
And he doesn't stop there. He applies that same exact logic, that idea of everything being connected, to government and fairness. So, in this system, democracy, or kerakyatan, isn't just some vague concept. No, it has a very clear, very specific job to do.
And that job is to actively create social justice. See, it's not enough to just vote. The outcome has to be fair. And he summed this up with this really powerful Javanese phrase, sama rata, sama rasa. It literally means equal share, equal feeling. Everybody gets a fair slice of the pie, and everybody is treated with empathy. So you see, democracy is the tool, but a just and empathetic society, that's the real goal.
So when you put it all together, you see what he was building. It's this incredibly balanced system. You've got nationalism that's guided by humanity. You've got democracy whose entire purpose is to create social justice. And overarching all of it is this spiritual, divine guidance. No single idea can just go off the rails on its own. They're all designed to work together, to check and balance each other, creating this harmonious whole.
And one last super important point. Dewantara makes it crystal clear that this jiwa, this soul he's talking about, is not some dusty old relic that's frozen in time. I mean, that would be the complete opposite of a living, breathing spirit, right? Instead, he saw it as something dynamic, something that could respond to change. These are guiding principles, not rigid rules set in stone. The idea is that every generation has to interpret them and apply them in a way that actually makes sense for the challenges they're facing, always keeping in mind the spirit of the times and the state of the world.
So, let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway? Pancasila wasn't meant to be a simple checklist. It was designed as this resilient, living, evolving national philosophy. It's a complex, interconnected system where every part gives meaning to all the others. A true jiwa that's meant to guide a nation, no matter what the future holds.
And that really leaves us with a huge question. And it's not just for Indonesia, it's for any country, really. How do you let your nation's founding ideas evolve and adapt over time without losing